Ariana Grande's voice is often described as otherworldly, her high notes seemingly reaching the heavens. But behind the microphone, there's another story, a story of struggle, tragedy, and survival that the world barely sees. From the outside, she appeared to have it all, fame, fortune, and a perfect image. But in reality, Ariana has spent her life fighting battles far more intense than the ones on stage. The 2017 bombing at her concert in Manchester was only the beginning of a series of events that would change her forever. What followed was a relentless cycle of public scrutiny, personal heartbreak, and battles with her mental health, all while the world watched. Ariana became a symbol of resilience, but few knew the price she paid to maintain her fame. This is the untold story of the pop queen behind the voice, and how the fame that made her adored almost destroyed her. Ariana Grande was born on June 26, 1993, in Boca Raton, Florida, into a family that supported her artistic ambitions from a young age. Her passion for music was evident early on, and it wasn't long before she began performing in local theater productions. However, it wasn't until she landed the role of Kat Valentine on Victorious, a popular Nickelodeon show, that her career truly began to take off. The quirky, lovable character made her a household name among teens, and Ariana's infectious energy quickly made her a star. Despite her success on television, Ariana's true breakthrough came through her voice. In 2013, she released her debut album, Yours Truly, and critics immediately took notice of her remarkable vocal range. It wasn't long before she was compared to some of the greatest vocalists of all time, including Mariah Carey. Her blend of pop and R&B, combined with her ability to belt high notes effortlessly, set her apart from many of her peers. Songs like The Way and Almost Is Never Enough became instant hits, making Ariana one of the brightest stars in the music industry. The public adored Ariana for her sweet, down-to-earth persona and her unwavering professionalism. She was constantly in the spotlight, on tour, attending glamorous events, and recording hit after hit. But as her fame grew, so did the pressures of being a public figure. The constant scrutiny of her personal life, her relationships, and even her appearance began to take a toll on her mental health. What the world didn't see were the moments of self-doubt, the loneliness behind the glamour, and the fear of failure that haunted her. In 2017, Ariana's life was irrevocably changed when a suicide bombing took place at her concert in Manchester, England. 22 lives were lost, and dozens more were injured. Ariana was devastated. The public's outpouring of love and support following the attack was overwhelming, but the emotional toll on Ariana was immense. The trauma from the event would stay with her for years to come, as she grappled with survivor's guilt and the weight of the tragedy. Despite the shock, she did what she does best. She returned to the stage. She held a benefit concert for the victims, bringing together some of the biggest stars in the world to raise funds for the families affected by the attack. While many praised her bravery, others began to see a shift in her. The Ariana Grande who had once seemed invincible was now visibly changed, a woman battling not just the pressures of fame, but also the deep emotional scars left by the bombing. Her life became an open book. Her relationships, her mental health, her struggles and triumphs, all laid bare for the world to see. The media couldn't get enough of her, but what the public didn't fully understand was that with every headline and every tweet, Ariana was being consumed by the very fame that made her a household name. Ariana Grande's rise to stardom was meteoric, and in many ways, she seemed to be living a dream. By the age of 20, she had already become a pop sensation, known for her stunning vocals, charming persona, and hits that dominated the charts. Songs like Problem and Bang Bang skyrocketed her career to unimaginable heights, cementing her place as one of the biggest pop stars of her generation. She was unstoppable, playing sold-out arenas, gracing magazine covers, and winning prestigious awards. But even as Ariana reached the pinnacle of her career, cracks began to form beneath the surface. Fame, which had once been her dream, now felt like a burden. The constant pressure to maintain a flawless image and deliver hits that would satisfy millions of fans left Ariana struggling to cope. Her personal life, too, was thrust into the limelight. In 2014, she began dating rapper Big Sean, and their relationship was widely covered by tabloids. When they broke up in 2015, the media frenzy only intensified, leaving Ariana with a deep sense of vulnerability. Despite the public nature of her relationships, Ariana often found solace in the comfort of her fans, who adored her for her honesty and openness. But the darkness continued to creep in. Her second album, My Everything, was a commercial success, but it came at a personal cost. Behind the scenes, Ariana was battling internal struggles, insecurities, doubts, and a growing sense of isolation. The pressures of maintaining her image and the constant scrutiny from the media began to erode her sense of self. In 2016, Ariana's relationship with rapper Mac Miller blossomed, and the two became one of the most adored celebrity couples. Their chemistry was undeniable, and their relationship brought a sense of normalcy to her chaotic life. But even this love couldn't shield her from the increasing stress of fame. As the years passed, Ariana faced growing mental health challenges, including anxiety and depression, which she had openly discussed with her fans. Yet the scrutiny continued. The tipping point came in 2017. After the devastating Manchester Arena bombing, Ariana was left grappling with guilt, grief, and an overwhelming sense of responsibility. While she rallied her fans and hosted a benefit concert, the emotional toll was too much for her to carry alone. She broke down, not just in private, but in public, and her emotional state took a toll on her professional life as well. In the aftermath of the tragedy, Ariana's career continued to flourish, but it became clear that she was no longer the same person. Her next album, Sweetener 2018, featured tracks that felt more raw, introspective, and reflective of her emotional turmoil. The success of the album was bittersweet. While it resonated with her fans, it was also a testament to the weight Ariana was carrying. Her personal life continued to unravel. After a brief but intense romance with comedian Pete Davidson, Ariana became engaged, only for the relationship to implode publicly. Fans watched in disbelief as the media churned out headline after headline, speculating about her emotional state. At this point, Ariana seemed to be living in a constant cycle of highs and lows, her career at its peak, while her personal life crumbled beneath the weight of public expectations and her internal battles. By 2018, Ariana was no longer just a pop star. She had become a symbol of vulnerability, strength, and resilience. The same fans who once idolized her began to witness her struggle in real time. Her battle with addiction, mental health, and the aftermath of personal losses became part of her public persona. But even in her lowest moments, she continued to rise. Ariana Grande's rise and fall weren't just about chart-topping hits and red carpet appearances. They were about survival in a world that demanded perfection.
By 2018, Ariana Grande had already weathered storms that most could never imagine. But the darkest chapter of her life was still unfolding. The tragic bombing in Manchester, the pressures of fame, and her tumultuous relationships were just the beginning of a deeper, more personal struggle that she wasn't ready to share with the world. Despite the outward success, Ariana's battles with mental health had been ongoing, and the public's relentless gaze only intensified them. She had become a symbol of strength, but behind the scenes, she was often fighting her own demons. In the aftermath of the Manchester tragedy, Ariana found herself overwhelmed with survivor's guilt, her mental health unraveling in ways she had never publicly admitted before. The once carefree pop star, who delighted in performances and meeting fans, now found herself retreating into herself, grappling with feelings of insecurity, depression, and fear. Her breakup with Mac Miller, whom she had dated for nearly 2 years, was a pivotal moment in this downward spiral. Mac's struggles with addiction had been well documented, and the toll it took on their relationship was visible to the public. But when he passed away from a drug overdose in 2018, Ariana was left heartbroken. The guilt she felt, compounded by the fact that their breakup had been messy and public, weighed heavily on her. In a series of vulnerable posts on social media, Ariana revealed her grief and the overwhelming sense of loss she was experiencing. But instead of receiving support, she was met with backlash. Many blamed her for Mac's death, accusing her of abandoning him when he needed her most. The cruelty of the internet, where anyone's pain becomes fodder for public consumption, further amplified her isolation. At the same time, Ariana found herself in the middle of another public romance, this time with comedian Pete Davidson. Their whirlwind engagement, followed by a swift breakup, made headlines for weeks, and once again, Ariana was under the microscope. The media picked apart every detail of her personal life, using her pain to fuel sensational headlines. Ariana admitted in interviews and on social media that the pressure of these public relationships, especially the online harassment she faced, had affected her deeply. Behind her powerful vocals and hit songs, Ariana's personal life was in a state of crisis. She was dealing with depression, anxiety, and a growing sense of inadequacy, struggling with the belief that she could never measure up to the expectations placed upon her. In a candid interview, Ariana revealed that she had sought therapy to help her navigate her mental health challenges. She was in the process of healing, but the wounds were deep, and the healing was not linear. Through it all, Ariana's career remained on an upward trajectory. Sweetener and Thank You Next, two of her most personal albums, were released, with songs that resonated deeply with fans. Tracks like No Tears Left to Cry and 7 Rings became anthems of resilience, But even these songs were deeply tied to her struggles. In her own words, Thank You Next was about finding herself again, a message of self-love and recovery that spoke directly to the emotional turmoil she had been through. Despite the professional success, Ariana was still learning to love herself. The dark truth behind her public persona was that she was a human being, a woman who struggled with immense personal pain and trauma, just like anyone else. The real Ariana Grande was not just the powerful voice or the glamorous pop star. She was someone who had to fight for her mental health and her own happiness in the face of fame, tragedy, and heartbreak.
At Hidden Fame, we view Ariana Grande's journey as a powerful yet painful reflection of the complexities of modern stardom. On one hand, she represents the pinnacle of pop success, adored for her unparalleled vocal talent and her resilience in the face of personal adversity. But her story is also a cautionary tale about the relentless pressures of fame, the emotional toll of being in the public eye, and the dark side of living under constant scrutiny. Ariana's achievements in music are undeniable. She has redefined what it means to be a pop diva in the 21st century, blending incredible vocal prowess with infectious charisma. Her career has flourished despite the challenges she's faced, and she's inspired millions with her journey of self-discovery and healing. Her albums have become anthems of survival, and her voice remains one of the most recognized in the world. However, as we look deeper, it becomes clear that Ariana Grande's fame is not as glamorous as it appears. Behind the awards and sold-out tours lies a woman who has endured more than most people will ever understand. The public's obsession with her personal life, her relationships, her heartbreaks, and even her mistakes has often overshadowed her talent. She has been judged, criticized, and even blamed for things beyond her control. But what sets her apart is her ability to turn these challenges into strength, channeling her pain into music that resonates with the world. In many ways, Ariana has become a symbol of resilience. She's shown the world that it's okay to be vulnerable, to struggle, and to ask for help. Her story challenges the image of the perfect celebrity, revealing the human side of fame that is often hidden from the public eye. She may be a pop queen, but she is also a woman who is still learning to navigate the complexities of fame, trauma, and healing. What do you think? Is Ariana Grande the victim of an industry that demands too much from its stars? Or has she overcome her challenges and emerged stronger? We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Ariana Grande's legacy is more than just chart-topping hits and iconic performances. It is a testament to the strength and vulnerability of a woman who navigated unimaginable challenges while being thrust into the spotlight. From her early days as a Disney star to becoming one of the most recognizable voices in pop music, Ariana's journey has been filled with moments of both brilliance and heartbreak. Her story reminds us that even the brightest stars are human. Behind the perfect vocals, the glamorous red carpets, and the sold-out tours, there is a person with insecurities, struggles, and moments of vulnerability. Ariana's music, from Skyscraper to Thank You Next, has captured the essence of her personal journey, transforming pain into power and turning her hardships into anthems for a generation. As we look back at Ariana's journey, we see not just the diva of pop, but a woman who fought through adversity, used her voice to heal herself, and in the process gave millions of fans the courage to face their own battles. Her story is still being written, but the chapters that have already been shared will resonate forever. Some stories were never meant to be known, but now you know. And in knowing, you carry a piece of Ariana's truth, her vulnerability, her strength, and the impact she has made on the world.